We believe that God's desire is one man and one woman for a lifetime. Why is it that men struggle with lust? Whether it's looking at other women, whether it's looking at pornography, hardcore, or even softcore porn, billboard ads. Why is it that men struggle with this? And why is it that there isn't more being talked about in the church and more being done to help men get beyond this hurdle? You see, everything that we do, and this is everybody, everything that you do always starts with a thought. So if you see an attractive young lady and you allow your thoughts to automatically start undressing her with your eyes, or thinking about what you would like to do to that young lady, you have allowed the thought to captivate your mind. And see, thoughts turn into actions. You see, as Christian men, and I mean this for all men, but I'm mainly speaking to the Christian men because you know what's right and what's wrong. Even non-Christian men, you know what's right and what's wrong. You know it's wrong to cheat on your wife. You know it's wrong to flirt and cross that line even a little bit when it comes to other women. You know it's wrong. So if you're doing it, it needs to stop. Because what a lot of men don't realize is that Satan uses that passion that is within us, that God gave us so that we are to desire and chase after our wives, not other women. Satan will use that to get you to do things that be detrimental to your marriage and your family. You see, marriage was God's idea. And Satan hates anything that's God's idea. Satan will do whatever he can to get us men off track so that we ultimately will destroy the family that God desires for us to have. You see, God desires for us to have godly offspring, to raise our kids up the way they should go. And if you have a man who's out there running around, who's cheating on his wife, who's looking at images that his wife will never be able to live up to, and I'm talking fake images, none of that stuff is real. I have seen interviews with women who have left the porn industry, and they talk about how they felt nothing, how they didn't enjoy it, how it was just basically a job, how they had to sometimes use drugs and alcohol to get themselves in the right frame of mind just to be able to engage in it. But men will sit down at a computer for hours and look at this garbage, not realizing that it's not even real, and the damage that it's not only doing to his wife, but to his family. Because what ends up happening is that man who is looking at these images, what starts off as just looking and lusting with his eyes, ends up turning into masturbation, which ends up turning to wanting to go out and act on these things that he's seeing in the video. Case in point, whenever you see a news story and it's a teacher that is looking at child pornography, or a teacher that was arrested for having sex with a 15-year-old student, every time I saw a story like that, I guarantee you without a doubt that that person was looking at and downloading and masturbating to images and videos that he was watching online before he stepped out and started to act on it in the physical world. That's usually where it starts. It's no different than like with drugs. You know, a lot of people will say marijuana is a gateway drug, because what it does is after a while, you get to the point where it doesn't really do anything for you anymore. And it's the same with pornography. You know, you start looking out at just men and women having sex. Okay, that doesn't do it. Now let me look at women and women, then men and men, and then transvestites, and then you name it, kids, and all other kind of weird stuff that's out there on the internet. The point I'm trying to make is, if this is something that you have allowed into your life, it needs to go, because I'm telling you now, it will destroy your marriage. And if you think you're hiding it or think you're fooling somebody, your wife is already aware. Either she's kind of passive and doesn't know how to address it, or she's almost dismissed it as being okay. Probably because she doesn't know any better. Because if she knew better, she would raise a fit and not put up with the garbage that you're allowing into your home. Because what you don't realize is any sex outside of marriage is demonic. So if you're allowing these images into your home via the computer, all you have done is opened up a doorway for the devil to come into your home. And then to make matters even worse, because you are the man, which is supposed to be the head of your home, the protector. You've ever heard the saying, kill the head, the body is dead? Satan always goes after the head. So whatever your weakness is, that's what he's going to go after. So if he knows your weakness is women and images and porn and whatever, masturbation, that's what he's going to do. He is going to inundate you with circumstances and situations to tempt you in that area, to get you to give in. Because he wants to inhabit you. He wants that open door. He wants to destroy this godly family that God desires for you to have. So the point I'm trying to make, if this is something that you are struggling with and you need some help, reach out to me in the comment section. There's some different avenues. There's some things that you can do that will help you put some safeguards in place. But to be honest with you, you really have to get to the point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And until you get to the end of yourself and you realize the damage that it's doing and the disappointment and the heartbreak that you are causing your Lord and Savior, until you get to the point where that crushes you more than that 5 seconds of gratification that you get watching this garbage, it's probably not going to change. Because I believe a lot of people want to change, and I don't care if it's pornography, alcohol, shopping, gambling. The problem is they have not gotten to the end of themselves yet because they love their sin more than they love their God or their family. And I'm just calling a thing a thing. I'm just trying to be transparent. Like I said, I want nothing but the best for you men out there. I have seen this garbage destroy families. I've seen marriages end over it. I've seen affairs. I've seen swinging clubs. I mean, I've seen some of the craziest stuff that you can see. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prevent you from having to go down that road, because it doesn't have to be. You know, the Bible gives us many, many warnings to be on guard, do not be deceived, all these different things, and we just ignore it. We don't take it seriously until we're sitting there with our heads hung in shame because we've fallen in sin. Look at how many prominent pastors have fallen to this same sin, whether it was prostitution or homosexual sex. I mean, there's been several, you know, because Satan doesn't care who you are. The bottom line is you have to get to the point where your salvation and how you spend your short time here on earth, you have to get to the point where that matters more to you than any temporal pleasure that you can get on this side of eternity. So like I said, if you guys have any questions or comments, or you just need some help, please hit me up in the comments section. Go to my channel, my email is there. Reach out to me if you're struggling with this, or if you're stuck in that sin confess cycle where you're looking at this garbage and then you masturbate and then you feel broken because you know you did something that you don't want to do, and then you're good for about 2 days, and next thing you know, then you're being drawn back in and looking again. Like I said, there are some things you can do, but the bottom line is you really need to be seeking and asking God to show you how to break this bondage. You have to renounce it. You have to return from it, because if you keep allowing the enemy that open door, he's not going to go away. So again, I love you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, hit that subscribe button in the corner of the video, or just go to my page and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you like this video and share this video. If you know somebody that you know is potentially struggling with this issue, I call it the elephant in the room, because I guarantee you, if you go in any church, if there's 100 men, I guarantee you probably 80 of them are struggling with some form of lust or lust addiction. And until we start getting the cojones to talk about it and try to help each other get better, it's not going to change. So again, I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.